Hello friends, this is Difa channel and today we're going to discuss about use of military rockets in wars and battlefields around the world. It's being educated around the internet that the first use of rockets by any military or army in the battlefield was made by Tipu Sultan of Mysore, an Indian commander, an Indian king against the British Army, the East India Company. But it is not actually like that. The first use of rockets in any battlefield was made by Song dynasty in China during the Mongol invasions around 13th century. The earlier use of rockets were against the Mongol invaders, and they were just simple arrows attached with the firework rocket around bamboo tube that contained gunpowder that propelled the arrow towards the Mongol invaders. Later on, they designed several tubed or barreled inside a wooden box that contained several arrow rockets, and that would be an easier thing for them to transport and to carry several items together. The wasp nest was developed in the year 1380, and in the same year, the rockets were again used in the Battle of Chorogia by Chinese, and by the third use that is documented is actually by the Joseon Kingdom. They developed the multiple rocket launcher systems, mobile vehicle, so that could be brought to the battle and used in multiple pieces. The use of rockets was outdated by the 15th century until the technology for constructing iron tubes and iron cast technologies came into being and people got their hands on it, and technology was developed enough to use with explosive and firepower. By 18th century, the gunpowder was developed enough to be used in muskets and large bore cannons. But the rocket technology was not developed to push any projectiles to long ranges or inflict heavy damage towards the infantry. In 18th century, the Tipu Sultan of Mysore, the Indian king, had developed the rocket technology enough to inflict heavy damages towards the enemy army or infantry. At the same time, when he was fighting the British East India Company, both of the armies had rockets, but the rockets with the East India Company were not powerful enough to inflict heavy damages. Indian rockets. In the Battle of Polilur, the rockets used by Tipu Sultan were way advanced and had longer ranges than the British rockets. Rockets of Tipu Sultan were made from cast iron or iron tubes that were filled up with gunpowder rocket. They had ability to explode on impact. The Mysorean rockets had the power to hit the target up to 2 kilometers of range, and they inflicted heavy damages towards the British. The British at Sarangapatnam had suffered more from rockets than any other shells or weapons. A single rocket could kill around 3 men and badly wound the other soldiers. There are some artworks that show that swords were attached with rockets and they were shot towards the enemy and could inflict heavy damage when they spin or they get hit any other human. Tipu Sultan developed some literature about use of rockets and rocket artillery in his manual Fathul Mujahideen. The Mysorean rockets were around 8 inches long and could be up to 1.5 to 3 inches in diameter, and they were attached with long poles of bamboo so they could be fired, and the long bamboo could be barreled in a tube that could give it direction and could travel faster. The metal tube had capacity of carrying around 1 pound of explosives and had ability of exploding on impact. During the Second Anglo-Mysorean War, the British ammo depot was hit by Tipu's rocket, and that contributed towards the British defeat. The Britishers developed their Congreve rocket after they defeated Tipu Sultan and got their hands on his ammunition depot and rocket stockpiles and rocket technology. The initial British rockets were made from cardboard during the initial development. In 1866, they were made from sheet iron, and it was further developed for more aerodynamic shapes and aerodynamic cast iron tubes. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share our channel. Thanks for watching the video again.